How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another Prehistoric Kingdom video, one of my favorite types of videos to make. So we just got a trailer for Update 17, which means that the update is very close to being released. How close, you might be asking? Well, it's actually slated to release June 25th, as in the end of the month that we're currently in. That was so incredibly fast. I was expecting a longer wait time for an update that is this big, because as you're going to see from this trailer, this is a pretty big update. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through the trailer and we're going to discuss each thing that we see. Full on warning, this is not a reaction video. This is simply just a video of us looking at these things. If you want to watch the trailer for yourself, it will be linked down below. Go and check it out, and then you can come back and we can discuss it. But let's get right into it. So of course, the first thing that's being revealed is Stegosaurus. As we know, Stegosaurus has been available in the public test branch for a while, but this is its first time being added into the main game, of course. And you've already heard my thoughts about Stegosaurus. I absolutely hate it. No, obviously not. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful, beautiful model. Both Ungulatus and Stenops look incredible, and I even like the juveniles. I think the juveniles look really good too. So not much else I can add with them, but there are some other things that are really interesting that we want to discuss here, like these handsome fellows right here. Friar Tuck, am I right? So yeah, Pachycephalosaurus will be released in Update 17. And as you can see, they're bumping heads right here because combat and hunting will be added as well. What we're going to be seeing here is some intraspecific combat, which is combat in between members of the same species, which is way more common than interspecific combat, which is combat between members of different species. Just collide with their heads. Now, yeah, it is very much likely the Pachycephalosaurus would use its head for that reason, for mating rights or territorial reasons or whatever the case may be. I really like this Pachycephalosaurus model, though. Look at that. Look at that. It looks like this might either be a female or maybe a younger individual. But this looks so good. The head shape is pretty much spot on. I like the way that the body looks, and it has small hands too, which Pachycephalosaurus most likely did have small hands. You can see a little bit of a beak here, which is something the Pachycephalosaurus had, and it seems to lack cheeks, which seems to be the route that a lot of reconstructions of Pachycephalosaurus seem to take nowadays. Like that's how it was in Prehistoric Planet, for example. It also has like its sharp teeth up here and like the more like rounded teeth back here. Something that might imply that Pachycephalosaurus was omnivorous, but we don't know. There's a lot of things we don't know about Pachycephalosaurus. It's kind of a frustrating dinosaur because we must know more. Now, I'm sure that many of you already spotted this. It says Wyomingensis and Spinifer, which is interesting because Pachycephalosaurus wyomingensis is an actual species of Pachycephalosaurus. But as of right now, Pachycephalosaurus spinifer is not, at least not officially. The name spinifer actually belongs to Stygimoloch spinifer, and that actually tells us which interpretation the developers are going with. There's three possible interpretations for Stygimoloch. Either Stygimoloch is its own thing, completely separate from Pachycephalosaurus, just known as Stygimoloch spinifer, or Stygimoloch is simply just a growth stage of Pachycephalosaurus wyomingensis, like it's a middle ground, kind of like a teenager or something like that. Or Stygimoloch is just another species of Pachycephalosaurus, known as Pachycephalosaurus spinifer. And it seems like the developers are going with the third option, which is, that's a fine interpretation to take. It's certainly going to be different than probably most other interpretations that you'll see of those separate animals. So I'm interested to see a little bit more about that. One thing I'm not too sure about right here is the presence of this little fella right here. Initially, I thought that this was simply just going to be the growth stage of Pachycephalosaurus, and it was going to be like a juvenile Pachycephalosaurus. But then I see in the background, I see other ones. I see some that seem to be a little bit larger than this one in the foreground. And it doesn't really have much of a bump on its head, much like this one right here. So I'm kind of confused. There's no Hogwartsia down here. So they're not interpreting Dracorex as another species of Pachycephalosaurus. So that kind of makes me think that it's possibly just like, this is what young Pachycephalosaurus looks like in the game. It just looks like Dracorex, and this is just an older growth stage of that. I'm sure that somebody already has the answers to that, and I'm going to look like an idiot. But yeah, no, what we might be seeing here is just Dracorex not existing as its own taxon, and rather it's simply just a juvenile Pachycephalosaurus, which might be a little bit more likely than Stygimoloch being a growth stage of Pachycephalosaurus. It's just something that we don't know for sure. One of the reasons why it's thought that Dracorex here is just a growth stage of Pachycephalosaurus is because of the lack of a dome on its head. It's thought that maybe that's something that only develops once they reach sexual maturity. And so when they're little babies, they lack that. Again, we don't know if that's true or not. In fact, there was another Pachycephalosaur that was recently described that might actually be evidence against that. And that is Zavacephalae here, a Pachycephalosaur that was found with an incredibly well-preserved skull. Like, it's complete. It looks so gorgeous. And because it's complete, it offers some good insight about the cranial anatomy of this animal. One of those things being what seemingly developed bump on its head, very similar to Pachycephalosaurus. Now, what's notable about this little guy is that it is a juvenile. It's a juvenile with a bump on its head, which is different from Dracorex that has no bump on its head. That might hint at the fact that that bump was not developed simply for like sexual maturity. It might imply that species that had a bump on their head simply just had it when they were younger and just, continued to have it until they got to be older. Because maybe when this guy got to be fully grown, it was just a little bit larger on top of its head. We certainly do need more data, but that might be something the Zavacephalae here implies. And what I mean by all of that is that it might seem like Pachycephalosaurs that have a bump on their head just have them for their whole life, whereas Pachycephalosaurs that don't have a bump on their head don't have them for their whole life. Like maybe when Dracorex got older, it continued to not have a bump, and when Pachycephalosaurus got older, it just had it from when it was young to when it was older. Now, to be fair though, Zavacephalae showed up like way before Pachycephalosaurus and Dracorex showed up. So maybe that was simply something that changed the further you get into Pachycephalosaur evolution, to the point where you have maybe Pachycephalosaurus, as represented through this model right here, just was like hatched without a bump on its head, and then it grew into its bump. Again, Pachycephalosaurs are a little bit frustrating. There's a lot of questions that we have. I hope that we learn more in the future. But yeah, that's assuming that, of course, this is a growth stage of Pachycephalosaurus, because that guy just looks bigger back there. Maybe that's like for Pachycephalosaurus spinifer, because, obviously Stygimoloch has a bump on its head, but it's not as large as the one on Pachycephalosaurus. Maybe it's just the angle. I don't know. We'll go ahead and move on. And of course, we've talked a lot about this handsome fellow right here, Allosaurus, all four species of Allosaurus, that being Fragilis, Europaeus, which might be Fragilis, but we don't know yet, Gemensini, and of course Anax. This one right here is Fragilis, and it just looks gorgeous. The animations are looking amazing. It's such a real treat to see it walking around. I mean, look at this. Oh, it's so cool. And again, with the intraspecific combat, I assume we're going to be seeing a lot of that in this update, because there's a lot of reasons why animals will fight members of the same species, for, like I mentioned before, mating rights, or for territorial reasons, or maybe even just for more social reasons. There's some really good animations that we see with this fight. I'm going to let this fight play for a second, and just so you can see. I know it's not a reaction video, but it's just, look at this. It's so freaking cool. It looks so realistic. What I like right here is the little, look at that, the face biting going on, which is something that theropods probably did quite frequently. And look at all the scarring all over these guys too. Like, what's wild though is that this is meant to be like in a zoo, and there's like guests walking around. They're just gonna watch this bloody match going down. It's crazy. And I like how it bit him right here, and then, like, of course, he managed to pull away. It looks so good. The combat is looking fantastic. There's not just combat. There will be hunting as well, as represented through this Tyrannosaurus hunting down this Edmontosaurus. We've already looked at... Oh, it looks like they're... I think this was a different Tyrannosaurus from this one right here. So maybe they're doing that whole coordinated pack hunting that media loves to do. Yeah, so what happens here is that it knocks it down like that, and then it does like a little bit of a finishing move, just like biting down onto its throat. So brutal. It's just so wild to see these animals actually fight each other in this game, because this game's been out. Oh yeah, there's two of them. Okay, I missed that when I first watched the trailer. Yeah, there was two of them. It looks like there might be some, like, a little bit of group hunting that's going on here. I'm excited for this one. I'm glad that they put an emphasis on this. Look at this Brachiosaurus just knock over this Torvosaurus, and not only knock it over, it's crushing it. Crush. Oh, I'm so glad that I finally live in a world where, in a game at the very least, in a park builder game, the sauropods are not pushovers. I am so happy about that. I am so excited to see more of that. You know, like, you can't tell me that this giant, lumbering, herbivorous animal would just be easy food for a theropod. There's no way. There is no way. And that's exactly how they are in, other things. Some scenes dramatized, all content available for free. Oh man, this is looking so cool. And break rooms, of course, there's some stuff for the staff. There will be break rooms included, which is pretty exciting. Makes it feel like more of a functioning park, as well as work zones. So just a lot of things being added for the staff as well. Again, it's going to make it all feel like a little bit more of a well-oiled machine. And new environments, which we've already seen a little bit of in the public test branch. And as we know, they just look beautiful. Like this water, look how gorgeous that water looks. That is just the most beautiful water to ever exist as water. Oh, it's so clear down here. Oh, and that Ferris wheel in the background. It's so good. Look at this little Dryosaur just rolling around in the lavender. So cute. Yeah, and then again, more interspecific combat. Triceratops going up against each other. This is something that likely happened. They would likely lock horns like that. There's evidence in ceratopsians of like scrapes on the frill, and I believe on a Torosaurus specimen there's evidence of like a hole in the frill that was likely caused by another horn going straight through it. So yeah, this is something that likely occurred. Megalosaurus 2, that most definitely happened. Of course, deer do this all the time. So that's exciting to see. That actually looks... that might actually be Stygimoloch right there. As in Pachycephalosaurus spinifer. I mean, it looks like it. It's got these large structures back here, and it's got a little bit more of a developed bump. Look at this, an Allosaurus running from the Brontosaurus. Heck yeah, heck yeah. That shows that, of course, not all fights are going to be to the death, which is good, because not all fights in nature are to the death. It's especially nice, again, to see that sauropods are not pushovers. This is interesting. We got, of course, a Panthera going after a woolly rhino. I wonder how that's going to go. And this is Allosaurus europaeus right here, which is one of my favorites that they're including, because just look how gorgeous that looks. Look at those colors on this one. Oh, and this environment looks really, really nice too. Of course, a Tyrannosaurus going up against an Ankylosaurus. We saw this matchup in the, in the public test branch the other day. Didn't really end too well for the T-Rex. It didn't die or anything, but, Allosaurus anax. You already know, we've talked about it quite a bit. It looks really cool. It's got like what might either be feature scales or possibly osteoderms, but it's hard to say. And some spikes going on right here. I don't know how the developers managed to do it, but they managed to make like a bumpy and spiky dinosaur still look incredibly accurate. Because again, like we don't have any evidence of these types of bumps or spikes in Allosaurus. But for some reason, it certainly fits Anax. Oh, that's so cool. These two behemoths just going at each other. Oh, and like, look at that. They're all scarred too. Oh no. No, not the little Scelidosaurus being eaten by a group of Coelophysis. Oh, jeez. Oh, this is a good one. Look at these bears. Look at that. That looks like a real bear fight. That is so insane. Ursus spelaea over here. So cool. Incredibly realistic. And this unfortunate Jametsunai is about to get a Thagomizer. Thagomizer! Oh no. Oh, I love how they just like flop over when they get hit. It's so cool. And this looks like an instance of cannibalism, because of course we have an Allosaurus standing over its dead brethren. Again, in a park, mind you, there's fences over here. So that would be unfortunate for guests to see, but what a nice exhibit. That looks a lot like walking with, well, it looks a lot like the Ballad of Big Al. Like this looks kind of like the area in where Big Al was just like obliterated by that female Allosaurus. Maybe that's what's going on here. Although this one's definitely dead. Our biggest update yet. I am so incredibly excited for this update. As you can see, there's just so many really cool things. Of course, new creatures being added, like the 2 species of Stegosaurus, the 4 species of Allosaurus, and the 2 species of Pachycephalosaurus. That's already a lot of things to look forward to right there. Plus the addition of hunting and combat, which is one of the final steps to create your own little functioning ecosystem. If you wanted to place down a set number of animals out there and try to recreate the Hell Creek Formation, for example, you could potentially do that here because there's going to be like dynamic fights. There will be more dynamic hunting. It's just insane. It's absolutely insane. The developers, as per usual, did a phenomenal job, and I cannot wait to play this. Again, it will be releasing June 25th. That is later this month. I will be covering it when it comes out. We're going to have a lot of fun playing it, and I hope to make even more Prehistoric Kingdom content as time goes on. My cat is now. You want to say hi? Say hello. Say hello, Ahsoka. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this one. Thank you all so much for watching, and have an awesome day.